What's up, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Apologies for no show tonight. It's times like this where I wish we had a show because the New York Jets are an absolute disgrace. And this has nothing to do with anything going on the field. This isn't about Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, AVT getting hurt, all the McCole Hardman rumors or anything like that. Has absolutely nothing to do with anything going on the field. And I'm sure many of you got the same email that I received today as a season ticket holder. But before I even get into that, let's just go through the timeline here, because we talk about this quite a bit, especially during the offseason. There are no bandwagon Jet fans, right? You go back all the way to Giant Stadium. I've been a season ticket holder my entire life. My dad goes back to Shea Stadium. And for so many years, we played in Giant Stadium. And I always hated walking into that building with an opposing team, a cross-team rivals logo on top of the building. But at the very least, your experience was always good. You felt like what you paid for, you got your money's worth. You had some good seasons that were mixed in there. Prices were reasonable, and you knew everybody in your section. It was a good time going to games. The crowd atmosphere was always amazing. You felt like you got your money's worth. And occasionally, not that often, but occasionally, you would get a home playoff game, right? So you start to fast forward, and I still remember it. I want to say, first off, I think in 2007, 2008, 2009, the tickets that I was paying for, and I was lower level, row 17, 40-yard line. I want to say those tickets were around 75 to 85 bucks, something in that range, right? So I still remember in 2009 or 2008, whatever it was, we get the phone call from our rep saying if you want to keep these same seats, it was going to be $25,000 per seat for a PSL plus $700 a game. Absolutely out of our price range, right? So we want to stay season ticket holders. It's something that we've done every single year. So, of course, we stay season ticket holders, but we move to the upper deck. Now, every year since then, the Jets made the playoffs their first year in MetLife, but they had 2 road playoff games. They have never had a home playoff game in that building. Not once. And not since the first year have they even made the playoffs. So what that means is for basically 12 of your 13 seasons, including probably this one, tickets are going to be pennies on the dollar, and they have been pretty much every single year, okay? By the time you get to late October, early November, you're lucky if you could sell your tickets for about 20% of what you paid for it, right? So rather than acknowledge all that money flushed down the drain from loyal season ticket holders, what they decided to do before the season, and even before they had Aaron Rodgers, they upped the ticket prices yet again, right? So that was starting to be my breaking point. I initially canceled. Once they got Rodgers, I'm like, you know what? I'll suck it up. I'll try to start going again. And, I reluctantly joined again. And, of course, Rodgers gets hurt, 4 plays into the year. Absolutely sucks. Not blaming the team or anybody. Just Jets fans' luck. It always seems like shit like this happens to us. So, not even complaining. I made the decision to come back. But now, we're in week 5, going into week 6. The team is 2-3. Very little hopes, once again, of having a team that's going to go on a deep playoff run. Very little hopes of having a home playoff game in this building. And what do I get today? What do I get today? A forwarded email from my father that shows the New York Jets have sent out already the ticket invoices for next year, asking for payments to fucking start in November. In November. Now, normally, your first payment, if I remember this right, is usually sometime around March or April in the off season prior to the upcoming season. That's usually when the first payment is made. So now the team is 2-3, and they're already asking for their money up front for next season, which tells me that they've pretty much completely punted on this season. Because if they thought the team was going to be good, if they thought they were going to be making a playoff run and sending out those playoff invoices, which they're going to do already, those tickets would sell themselves. They're not going to have to beg, season ticket holders to come back. They're not going to have to do all these ridiculous advertisements that we see on TV, asking for people to, join the excitement and get your season tickets now. Like, they're not going to have to do that shit. If Aaron Rodgers is coming back and the team is good, those tickets will sell themselves. But of course, it's October. The team is 2-3 with very little hopes of anything really exciting happening this year, with a lot more games already that you're going to be flushing your money down the drain. I already looked for the Charger game. Those seats are about half of what I paid for them already. You can only imagine what it's going to be like for the games towards the end of November and into December. And they're already asking for their money for their first payment in November. Like, are you guys fucking shitting me? Like, what a slap across the face to all these diehard fans who put up with this shit year after year after year. The loyalist of fans. Again, no Jet fan is a bandwagon fan. If you're going to games, if you're still a season ticket holder, it's probably because it's in your blood, it's in your DNA, you've been doing it your whole life, and you support the team, right? You can be critical, we have our rants, but this is why I get so angry around this team. This is why I don't give them the benefit of the doubt. We all know it's about the dollar, but they don't try to hide it. They don't try to hide it. What an absolute slap across the face that they have the balls to ask for their money for next season in October. First payment November. For next season. For next season. Just an absolute disgrace. I couldn't even believe it when my dad forwarded the email. I was like, is this for real? Is this serious? It's just unbelievable. You can't make this shit up. Anything for the money. And it also makes you wonder, what do they know about next season that we don't know? Are they just trying to set a precedent for when Aaron Rodgers eventually does retire, that they'll at least have, a bunch of season ticket holders that have already paid for their seat? Complete disgrace. Talk to you guys later.